to compress it. And we said, make us a pair of springs will be like that. So they make them up and then they put them in a press and they test them and see if it has the right, they call it rate of deflection. And we found that they came out pretty close, so here they are, waiting to go in. What you see here is called an equalizer bar, and it's about right about next to where it has to be on the truck. There's a big coil spring that sits in here, and a big coil spring that sits in here, and then there's a journal box. Everything is all scattered around, so it's hard to tell. There's a box here, the end of the axle is in here, it goes inside under here. And when you come to the next exciting episode, you will see where all this stuff goes together. The work we're doing in here we'll probably do during the cold weather because painting isn't involved, and so we don't need quite to have the best temperatures for that. So where the springs go are the things that Dean made. Yeah, the springs sit in the bottom of these plates here. Now, this looks like a simple piece of steel, and it sort of is, but the original sat in here. For whatever reason, they put a piece of wood in here to have this raised up just slightly higher. That wood plugged up the drain holes, and this filled with water, rotted the wood, and the water, as it froze, expanded and broke the outside of this rim off, where this whole sandwich of wood and metal sat with the spring on top of it. This piece of metal is abrasion-resistant steel because the spring sits on here and rubs back and forth, and it's very, very difficult to work. We had the discs made for us, and they cut the hole. I think we had to put the holes in them. It was very difficult. We've since learned that their companies can do it a little easier than we did, but that's all in the learning process. The spring seat, the upper ones are in pretty good shape, but the bottom ones, 3 of the 8 survived, but 5 of them had to be rebuilt by our machinist. Great big bolts that we had to make. We duplicated it pretty much as it was. Now, you must have shown this. What I really want to get is an overall as it stands now and an overall as it was. I think this would give something to what he wants.
And so you're using the second truck.
This is our memory.
Right. As a guide to put the first one together, and then you'll dismantle and go through the process.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have, all right.
Yeah.
We deliberately did not take both trucks apart completely because of the time and changes of people from one to the next over time. We would find we would lose our pattern and we would forget how it would go together. So when we get the first one back together, we'll do the second